If you're a man over 50, your body is producing far less of one specific hormone tonight than it did at 25. By the time you turn 60, the level of this hormone in your bloodstream during sleep can be 50 to 70% lower than it was in your 20s. By 70, the decline is even steeper. Most men have no idea this is happening. They notice they sleep lighter than they used to. They notice they wake up unrefreshed. They notice their immune system isn't what it was. They notice they get sick more easily. They notice their nights have become unreliable. They blame stress. They blame age. They blame the things in their life that have changed. They never blame the hormone that has quietly dropped by more than half inside their own brain. The hormone is melatonin. You probably know melatonin as the sleep hormone. That's partly true. Melatonin does control your sleep cycle. But here's what most men over 50 don't know. Melatonin is also one of the most powerful antioxidants your body produces. It modulates your immune system. It protects your cells from oxidative damage. It influences your body temperature regulation, your blood sugar control, your mood, your circadian rhythm. And recent research has linked low melatonin in older adults to higher risk of inflammation, cardiovascular disease, and certain forms of cognitive decline. When melatonin drops, you don't just lose sleep. You lose one of the most powerful internal repair systems in your body. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why melatonin drops so dramatically in men after 60, the 3 signs your level is already too low, and the specific evidence-based steps you can take to support what you have left. Stay with me until sign number 3. That's the one almost no man connects to melatonin, and it's one of the most reliable indicators that your melatonin system is no longer working the way it should. First, let's understand what melatonin actually is. Melatonin is produced primarily by a small gland in the center of your brain called the pineal gland. The pineal gland produces melatonin almost entirely in response to darkness. As the light around you fades in the evening, the gland begins to release melatonin. By 10 p.m. in most adults, melatonin levels are climbing. By midnight, they peak. They taper off by morning when light returns. This is a beautiful, ancient biological cycle, the same cycle that has governed sleep in humans for tens of thousands of years. In a healthy 20-year-old man, this cycle is sharp and powerful. The melatonin curve is steep and deep. Sleep follows naturally. Recovery is efficient. After 50, something specific happens. The pineal gland itself begins to change. Research published in journals including the Journal of Pineal Research has documented that the pineal gland accumulates calcium deposits with age. The gland slowly calcifies. The hormonal output declines as a direct result. By age 70, calcification of the pineal gland is so common that it shows up on imaging in the majority of older adults. There's also a second factor: modern life. Constant artificial light, screens in the evening, light pollution. All of this dampens the body's ability to detect darkness and produce melatonin in response. Combined, age and lifestyle create a perfect storm. Your gland is producing less, your environment is suppressing what's left, and the result is a fraction of the melatonin you used to have. Let me walk you through the 3 signs your level is already low. Sign number 1, difficulty falling asleep, staying asleep, or sleeping deeply. This is the most universal sign, and the one most men recognize. If it now takes you longer to fall asleep than it used to, if you wake in the middle of the night and can't fall back asleep, if your sleep feels lighter, more fragile, less deep than it did in your 30s and 40s, your melatonin is one of the central drivers. This connects directly to my earlier video on waking up at 3 a.m. Melatonin decline is one of the underlying biological mechanisms. As melatonin levels fall, your sleep architecture shifts. You spend less time in deep sleep. You wake more easily. Your body never settles into the restorative state it used to. Sign number 2, waking up unrefreshed even when you got enough sleep. You slept your 7 or 8 hours. You don't remember waking up, but you feel like you barely slept at all. This is one of the most frustrating signs, because on paper your sleep looks fine. On the inside, the quality is gone. Melatonin is not just about whether you sleep, it's about whether your sleep accomplishes anything. Melatonin influences how deeply your body repairs during the night, how thoroughly your immune system resets, how effectively your brain clears waste through the glymphatic system, which I covered in my video on brain shrinking. 8 hours of sleep with adequate melatonin produces real restoration. 8 hours of sleep with low melatonin produces only the appearance of rest. Same time in bed, vastly different result. Sign number 3, the one most men have never connected. You wake up multiple times a night to urinate, and the pattern has gotten worse over the years. I covered nocturia, frequent nighttime urination, in my video on 7 body signs most men ignore. But here's the connection most men have never been told. Melatonin directly influences how your kidneys handle fluid overnight. In men with healthy melatonin levels, urine production decreases significantly during sleep. The body shifts into a conservation mode. You can sleep through the night without needing the bathroom. In men with low melatonin, the kidneys do not get the same signal. Urine production continues at near daytime levels through the night. The bladder fills. You wake. Sometimes once, sometimes 2 or 3 times. Research published in journals including European Urology has documented this connection between melatonin decline and nocturia in older adults. It is one of the most under-discussed manifestations of low melatonin, and it explains why so many men over 60 find themselves waking repeatedly to urinate, even when their prostate health is fine. If you've been getting up multiple times a night and you've ruled out prostate issues, your melatonin is part of the story. If you recognize yourself in 2 or more of these signs, your melatonin level is worth thinking carefully about. Here's what to do. 3 practical moves. Move 1. Get serious about light hygiene. This is the single most powerful natural intervention for melatonin. Light is the master signal that tells your pineal gland when to produce melatonin and when to stop. In the morning, get bright outdoor light within the first hour of waking. This anchors your circadian rhythm. As I covered in my video on what strong 70-year-olds do in their first hour, morning sunlight is the most powerful daily reset for your hormonal cycle. In the evening, do the opposite. Dim the lights in your home in the hours before bed. Cut blue light from screens, or wear blue-blocking glasses if you must use them. Make your bedroom genuinely dark. Even small amounts of light from streetlights, alarm clocks, or LED indicators have been shown in research to suppress melatonin production. The contrast between bright mornings and dark evenings is what gives your pineal gland the cleanest signal. Most modern men live with the opposite pattern. Dim mornings, bright evenings. Their melatonin cycle is being damaged every single day. Move 2. Support melatonin through diet. Several foods contain natural melatonin or its precursors. The strongest is tart cherry juice, which has been shown in research to modestly raise melatonin levels and improve sleep quality in older adults. Other sources include walnuts, almonds, eggs, milk, oats, and grapes. This is not a magic intervention, but for some men, modest dietary changes do contribute to improved sleep. Move 3. Talk to your doctor about whether supplementation makes sense. Melatonin is available as an over-the-counter supplement in the United States. I am not telling you to take it. I am telling you that it exists, that it is one of the most studied sleep supplements for older adults, and that whether it is appropriate for you, and at what dose, is a conversation worth having with your physician. Research has suggested that low doses of melatonin can be effective for older adults whose levels have declined. Many physicians now consider it for patients in this category. But timing, dose, and interactions with other medications matter. This is not a supplement to take blindly. Don't self-prescribe. Get tested. Then talk. Here's what I want you to take from this video. If you have been treating your sleep as something that is just naturally worse now that you're older, please understand this. Sleep does change with age, but it does not have to collapse. The men who sleep deeply and wake up sharp at 70 are not lucky. They are the men who protected their melatonin system, who treated darkness and light as medicine, who refused to let modern life suppress the most ancient hormonal cycle in the human body. You don't need to fix everything tonight. Start with light hygiene. Bright mornings, dark evenings, phone-free bedrooms. Do that consistently for 2 weeks. Notice how you feel. That single shift, repeated daily, may be the single most powerful thing you can do for your sleep, your immune system, and your long-term aging trajectory. If this video helped you, share it with another man over 50 who has been suffering with broken sleep for too long. Most men have no idea their melatonin has dropped this much. Sharing this with one person you care about could help them rebuild their nights. And please, always consult a qualified physician about persistent sleep problems or before starting any new supplement, especially if you are on other medications. What we covered today is research-based education, not personalized medical advice. In the next video, I'm going to take you into one of the strangest hormonal shifts in men over 50. Why you are hungrier than you have ever been in your life, even when you've just eaten, even when your body doesn't need food, even when you swore an hour ago you weren't going to snack again. There are two specific hormones controlling every hunger signal you experience. Both of them shift in men over 50. And once you understand what's actually driving your cravings, you will never look at food the same way again. If you want to understand your body better as you age, subscribe. Because the most powerful thing a man over 50 can do is not push harder. It's understand deeper. I'll see you in the next